according to research, connection can occur during a two-person interaction in as little as 40 seconds. That's it. So an elevator ride is sufficient to boost the well-being of you and a stranger if you're connectable. So reaping the benefits of connection, it takes much less time and effort than you might think, as I mentioned earlier. 40 seconds, I hope you find that encouraging. All right, so the number one thing that folks said was getting in the way of their connection with other. Many of you alluded to it, got a lot of head nodding, and I think this will resonate with this group, and that's busyness. Busyness. So let's tee up some research that kind of helps us unpack why is busyness so lethal as it relates to our connection with others. So recently they did some research. They took a group of individuals, tasked them with delivering a speech across town. So they all had the same objective, delivering that speech. And they divided that group into 3 groups. So group A was told, hey, you've got plenty of time, prepare your remarks, and then get on your way to that venue. The second group was told you're on time, but you need to prepare as quickly as you can and get over there to be on time. And this poor third group was told, hey, you are already late. And so there was already people gathering in the venue, and even if they hurried over there, they were still going to be late. Now, all 3 groups had to go along the same path to get to the venue. They were all on foot, and the researchers channeled them through this long, narrow alleyway, and they placed this hurt actor. So there was an actor lying on the ground in the alleyway calling for help. And all 3 of these groups would have to choose whether to stop and help this individual or step over them on their way to the venue. And that's what they were after. They were trying to figure out who of these 3 groups would stop to help. Here are the results. Of the folks that had plenty of time, 63% of them stopped to help. Of the folks that were on time, 45% of them stopped. And what percentage of the late folks stopped to help? What do you think? What percent was the late group? I heard someone say 80%, so you're going the other way. What a great excuse to get out of public speaking, right? Yeah. Like, oh, look. Oh, yeah, I'm probably take a selfie with the person, right? Like, I was helping them out. I was being a good Samaritan. I heard the right answer back here. The correct answer is 10%. So to put that in context, 9 out of 10 people in that late category chose to step over a person in need to get to the venue in which they were delivered that speech. So here's what we can deduce from this research. Time constraints severely limit our willingness to connect with others. I don't know this group well. This is the first time we've met, but I'm willing to bet, as senior leaders that you have more on your plate, more on your shoulders than ever before. And so we have to guard against that if our goal is to create meaningful connection. Because we're constantly stepping over people unintentionally, that are craving and needing more connection. And if we spend the time to do it, we can find the big gains that we're talking about. So the rhetorical question we're faced with is, who are you stepping over while busying about your day? We've got to create some margin if our goal is to create meaningful connection. All right, so let me give you one example of how just one team is doing this. So there's a connection practice we teach called Connect 5. And recently we had a client adopt it, and they reported back to us how it was going for them. But here's how it works. It works well if you're in person, hybrid, fully remote. You can use this practice, and it's every time you have a team meeting, here's how it works. One person shares one non-work related picture for just 5 minutes. That's it. And what we tend to see happening is folks will share their marathon training, their home brewing, their beloved pets, and it's an opportunity to start to see the human behind the job. We can start to draw closer. We can start to draw deeper connection with those around us. And it just takes 5 minutes. We know the research it takes as little as 40 seconds, but 5 minutes. And here's how we put the brakes on busyness is you have to put this at the top of your meetings. Because if you put it at the back, every time busyness will bulldoze connection right out of your meetings. So we have to fight for connection.